The wonderful thing is when you start talking and you think you've gone live, and of course you have not, because you just are not live. But today I'm doing a mini speed run through the afternoon until we get to Wild Bill, because I definitely want to do that live, or not live, but with everyone else this evening. But I don't want to be on stream for 873,000 years, um, because these people talk so slow. And y'all, it was just, hey there. Yeah. It was almost killing me, the slow talk, and then this morning, oh my gosh, that woman, I don't know if she just took all the things, which, it's very, very possible, but, yeah, she was painful to listen to, and I have to say, I've been impressed with the defense's, witnesses thus far. I really think that they've been doing a really good job of being calm, being cool, and oh, okay, well, I this is just the mini speed run. David, I think I gave you the link to the, 621 or 631. I'm saving Wild Bill for then, but I can send you a link to this one too, 'cause I am a genius in my own head sometimes. Listen, only sometimes. But we are back with, well, I sent you for this one, but yeah, I'm definitely not okay. Yeah, you work, just work. All we are what we are doing today is we are getting through most of the witnesses. I haven't been keeping up with the trial because I was going out to pick out glasses with the anti-glare lens stuff for the computer. And so okay, there are 3 options, or there were several options. There were, just standard glasses. There were, fun colors, and then there were one with gemstones. Now, y'all know I picked the one with the glittery gemstones because all the loud all the time. So, what we are doing is I am getting through most of the defense witnesses so that we can save Wild Bill for when everyone is on tonight, but not have a super duper long stream. Thanks for joining me back. It looks like, and I've seen a little clip, and the man already sounds so sweet. I feel sorta, kinda okay, a scotch bad about making him Carlos the Cockroach from the Muppets. Not enough to change it, of course, but just a little bad. Just like, "Ooh, I need to work on my Jesus because 'cause I'm being mean." But again, it's kinda my thing.
Defense does have two witnesses that are out in the hallway ready to call. I don't anticipate them
I know, I'm so
being long
excited.
witnesses.
Barney
Uh,
Gumble seems to be
at that point,
so back
it would
the
be the
guy in the
defense's
back
intent
seems
to
to be,
call Bill Zelensky to the stand. I know
well,
we'll
he seems to
probably
be
have to
losing
have the
it.
jury escorted out to get him up on the stand. I just wanted to put the court on notice of that right away so the court knows why we would need a recess at that point.
And we would need to voir dire him, etc., about his decision to testify, etc. So, as soon as you get your second witness done, we'll take a recess.
Okay.
We're ready then.
Yeah, but I definitely wanna do, Wild Bill with everyone, but I wanted to get these done. Thanks. Okay, guys, I'm gonna put in my community post, I found the most awesome, whiteboard, corkboard, cabinet thing that I can hang on the wall. Now on Marketplace. Now I haven't, said exactly yes to it because let's be very honest, Mr. Mo is gonna be the one putting it up, and he may have issues with me buying stuff for him to do because he's already in the middle of tear down of his rooms and other things. So we are
Please
we
be
are not sure
seated.
if he is going to much more approve of just the roller cart
Mr.
whiteboard
Hogan,
instead
you
of
can
the
call your
big old
first witness.
cabinet. But let me see if I can
This
put
time
that
the
up
defense
there.
would call Nathaniel Brickle.
Please raise your right hand and state your name for the record.
Nathaniel Brickle.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you will provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You may have a seat.
Okay, so I guess
And
no
would you
one
please spell
in
your name
the
for the
state of
record?
Wisconsin.
Uh,
What in all of the California trying to happen in North Florida is going on with this gentleman? I mean, at least he took off his dadgum sunglasses, but what in the Miami Vice? Oh my lord, please let him be like some sort of actor or secret agent or Don Johnson.
Nathanial. Last name is Bricco.
And do you prefer to be called Nate?
Yes, that's correct.
And do you mind if that's what I call you?
Absolutely.
You do mind or? You
No, you can call me that.
Okay. Nate,
It's
where
a
do you
trick
live?
question. See if you're
I
paying
live at
attention.
409 Band Street.
And that's here in the city of Opaka?
Correct.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 24. Can you see that?
Yes,
And is your house in this picture?
it is.
Is this
And
was
can I
he the
point
Ring
you to your
doorbell
house?
guy?
Yes, you are.
It's this
Was he getting his
brown
Webley?
house right here next to that driveway.
Yep.
That's good. I
I'm
know up
showing
in
you
daggone
Also,
Wisconsin.
what's been marked Exhibit 23. You can see your house in this photo as well.
Yes.
And it's actually
He's gonna
better.
get
You can
all the
see it
fan
better
mail
right here.
Yes.
and maybe
And that's
suit
your house that I'm
offers.
pointing to right
Like,
here,
sir, do you
brown one.
understand what court
Yes.
is?
Nate, were you home on the night of October 19th of 2020?
I believe so.
And what, if anything, got your attention?
Is that the night in question? I'm not sure what night that was.
Sure.
Is that,
Do you remember there being an incident that occurred outside?
yes. I do recall something happening.
And if I said that that was October 19th, that would sound right.
That would sound right.
And what did you observe?
I didn't observe a whole lot. My wife observed more than I did. She had come downstairs. I was feeding our 2-year-old in the high chair. She came downstairs to alert me that the neighbors were fighting. I didn't really pay too much heed because there's usually a lot of noise coming over from that direction anyways.
He's like, they are
She
ratchet.
said, no, they're really fighting. And then we went to the door and looked outside. You could see some shadowy figures around a vehicle, just a group of people.
Oh,
And
Just some yelling going on.
I
do
forgot
you
about
know how
Red
many
Shirt
people you
Man.
saw?
I for sure saw 3.
I know, I start to shake.
And you said you heard some arguing.
Yes.
Did you hear anything that was being argued?
At one point, I heard somebody say, "I'm going to shoot you." Something about fight me. That's about it.
Could you tell who was yelling what?
Absolutely not.
Did you see anything else when you were looking outside?
No.
Shortly after the incident, did police come to talk to you?
Yes.
And did they give you anything to
I know,
fill
I
out?
feel bad, but I feel like he's
Mhm.
just like, oh my God,
And
the
did you
crazy
fill
ass
out a
neighbors
statement?
are
I did.
being crazy again. So, Reindeer, you're saying I can't have merch that says what, if anything?
Nate, I'm handing you what's been marked Exhibit 75 Do you recognize that?
Yes, that is my handwriting.
And that is that the statement that you filled out?
That is correct.
And when did you fill that out?
It would appear that it is dated for 12:48 a.m. on the 20th, so it would have been the night of the 19th of October.
And when you filled that out, was all that information fresh in your mind?
Correct.
And everything that you wrote down, that statement is how many pages?
I believe it's 1.5.
Look,
2 pages.
if you ask certain people on the internet and inner zones, it's the fluoride. And I just posted on my community tab the I am haggling with this gentleman, but I'm also haggling with Mr. Mo because he would be the one that would have to hang and or mount phrasing this awesome like cork board slash dry erase board cabinet. And listen, Mr. Mo may or may not be currently in the middle of like 5 different projects. So he might not be too super duper happy if I bring him home another one.
And that's your handwriting on both pages?
Correct.
And so you wrote out everything that's on those 2 pages?
Correct.
Did you include everything that you could remember about that incident?
Correct.
Well,
So
hey,
you wanna-
so this being an actual lawyer, this is something that he wrote himself. So unlike Daryl Brooks trying to impeach people on the use of the police written reports, he's actually, quoting from the actual report that this gentleman wrote up instead of what the police wrote. So it's not third party intervenerness. It's actually
Take a
them.
moment to review that statement and then let me know when you're finished.
Well, I think they might be on other substances that are counteracting the fluoride. Also, they might drink only Mountain Dew and Monsters. Just guessing.
I'm completed with reading it.
And I know October of 2020 was a long time ago. Was it hard to remember some details as you sit here today?
Yes.
Come on, Harlan
Did
Grange
reviewing your statement refresh some of your memory?
and Scott Baio's
Kinda,
love
yeah.
child.
After you read that, do you recall seeing anything
Wait a
else
minute, wait a
other
minute.
than
This is clicking in my brain. So this was the husband and wife that couldn't have child coverage. That wife let her husband go to court in a daggone t-shirt and some aviators. Look, ma'am, as a wife, you are supposed to help your husband not go out looking ridiculous, all right? Now, this is a beautiful outfit for a Walmart. Never mind. You know what? He showed up wearing a shirt. We should be just happy.
Ewan,
No.
did you write in your statement about seeing something other than arguing?
I don't believe so.
When your neighborhood's so jacked up, you're like, it's the meth heads. They're a tussling again.
I mean, I did hear the gunshot. That was one thing that I did hear. I didn't see anything else, though, I don't think.
And if I could direct your attention to the part of your statement where it starts, saw 3 people in road. If you wanna-
Yes. Is that on the first page?
Yes.
Yep, there it is.
And then what follows, can you read that to yourself?
Arguing and there was some struggling.
So did you see struggling?
Yeah, I guess that was part of like the argumentating thing going back and forth there.
So there,
Sir, we already established this with the Travis Rudolph case. It is called a brawl, and they are a tussling. I don't know. I just, you know what? I need Mrs. Rudolph. We need to crowdsource Travis's new wife. He doesn't even get to date anymore. He just gets a wife issued by the Canadian League. And we got to do better. They were conversating, but then it turned into argumenting. Well, he has a nice beard.
In addition to hearing arguing, you saw some
Yeah.
type of struggle.
Absolutely. Yeah.
After you had a chance to review your statement, does it refresh your recollection about potentially determining who was yelling certain things?
To be honest, no.
In your
Well,
written statement, does it
at least that's
indicate who you believed
honest.
was yelling?
Correct.
And who did you indicate in your statement was yelling?
I indicated the victim.
Because at some point, did you look back outside?
I did.
And what did you see when you looked back outside?
From my second story window, I saw somebody laying in the road, and I saw a female screaming, and then I saw somebody else in a hoodie on a phone.
And
Yeah, I'm guessing
when
that
you
was
say
the
the
mom
victim,
because she's
are you
just
referring
all
to the
the
person who was on the
helpful.
ground?
Yes.
And is that who you think you heard yelling from?
I could not be certain.
After you saw initially when you said you went to your front door,
Y'all, imagining being a young family, like you have saved up, you are renting, your house, you have your new baby he's 2. It's fairly new. It looks like it's his first child, so, everything's new. And and all you hear every other night is a bunch of daggone drug addicts just, hootenannying. They had a hootenanny and a holler, and dear Lord, the amount of just trashiness, just tawdry and trashiness. This poor family, I mean, he don't know no better. He thought it was his fancy shirt. What in Look, if there is anyone in the chat from Wisconsin, I need you to explain this to me. I need explaineration because, wow, this is all the Walmart.
yes?
Yes.
And is that when you looked and saw the argument and struggle?
Yeah, through a glass paned door window.
And what caused you to go from the front door?
He is like, I have to go to goddamn court because of them goddamn meth heads. About to lose my goddamn mind. Well, but back then he had the longer hair that maybe hid the ears just a little bit, and it was dark.
Then to go upstairs.
As I was walking away from the door to sit back down on the couch to continue feeding my son, I heard a pop. And my wife slammed the door and said that she heard a pellet gun. Somebody shot with a pellet gun. I said, that's not a pellet gun. And I grabbed my son and we ran upstairs.
And how soon, if you remember, from when you saw what you saw at the front to hearing the pop, how long would you estimate that was?
Not very long. I would say less than a minute.
So when you looked outside and you saw the arguing and the struggle, in
Mhm.
under a minute you saw or you heard a shot.
Yeah.
And that Exhibit 75 is a fair and accurate copy of what you filled out that night?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, at this time I would move for the admission of Exhibit 75.
Yeah, I mean, he's
And I have no further questions at this time.
Ross?
he's your normal bro dude in Walmart with a toddler, just waiting
So,
for his wife to bring up the
Nate, is it fair
waffles.
to say that as you sit here today and you have read your statement, that you no longer believe you can say for sure that, or you no longer are confident that it was the victim you heard yelling?
That is correct.
Did you know any of these individuals who were outside?
No.
Had
Dude is
you
like, I don't hang out
ever
with
spoken
meth
with them
heads.
in any capacity? Did you see the
Yeah,
person that
he's a little
you
bit smug for
learned to
wearing
be
a
the victim
t-shirt in
holding a
court.
gun?
I did not.
He is full Don Johnson in frickin' Miami Vice. Shall Jungmin, I cannot even with this trial. This trial has broken my soul. I don't get it. You have a guy showing up in a button down with a t-shirt hanging out from the bottom in gym shorts. You have one guy in a red t-shirt. You've got most people in orange jumpsuits. There are no there must be like a nexus of weird. Like I don't generally believe in like magnetic vortexes and all that stuff that they say is in Arizona, but there must be something metaphysical going on in Wisconsin. Dude's like, "I didn't know some weird chick from the internet was gonna be making fun of me." Well, have you seen the internet? That's about all it
Say that
is. Weird
your
people making fun of people.
observation of the situation was somewhat limited and, well, let's just go there, for somewhat limited.
Yes.
So you talked about looking through a pane, a glass pane.
Mhm.
Could you describe that?
It's just a big glass window on a secondary door leading to the exterior of the home.
Does it give you a good view of?
Not with the lights on when it's dark, no.
Yeah, well, okay, so I put something up in
Your lights on
about
inside?
that. I put something up in the community tabs. I found it on Marketplace. It looks super awesome, but it is like a cabinet that opens up with to a large whiteboard, and it's got cork boards, on the door frames. But I have to talk to Mr. Mo about it because he would be the one that would have to, hang it up. And, let's be fair, I may jump headlong into things and then ask him to help me as an afterthought. I'm trying to be better, but I may, like, get things for him to do, and then, you know, it's 873,000, projects later.
Inside, but not outside?
Inside and outside our front stoop light was on as well.
Okay. But that light didn't extend far enough for you to see
No,
really what was going on?
no, just our immediate front stoop. There's a rather large pine tree in our front yard that occludes most of any light from our.
Sir, if you are using words like occludes, I'm gonna need you to at least wear a daggone polo shirt. I know you own one. I know you own some chinos. Need you to put those date night clothes on when you go to court. I feel like everyone's mom.
Light from getting into the neighborhood.
Okay. And
Did Cat Lady pull her hair back?
on
I don't even
direct,
recognize
you talked
her.
about seeing a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that?
It just looked like a group of people in a group, maybe pushing or I don't know. It just looked like they were
That's how we know it was the truth.
in a group engaged with each other.
I shouldn't laugh.
So
Y'all have
it
told me
appeared there
he's
was
the
some sort of altercation.
Bill is the nicest one in the whole lot. So I feel just a scotch mad about making fun of it, but honestly, look, you have big ears. It is what it is.
Going on.
Yes, yeah, just what I would describe it as just an altercation.
Okay. You said that you later looked outside from your second story window.
Yes,
And that was after the shooting.
yes.
You saw an individual wearing a hoodie on a cell phone, right?
Yes.
Did you see him doing anything else
Um,
later on?
later on, I just saw that was when the police showed up. That was rather quickly. I just saw him on his phone, pacing, and then shortly after that, police car showed up, and then a
Did the
couple other SWAT
or
cars.
did the decedent still have his
So
shirt
you saw him
on?
when you say pacing from
From where this where it occurred up to my house and then back down, I believe.
did you
Why
ever
am
see
why am I afraid? But okay, Jungmin, what did you just learn today? Because I just learned yesterday which daggone time zone I was in. Because David asked me, and I was like, I don't know. It's 4 o'clock here. What time are you in? Listen, I'm a bit like Rain Man. Ask me some random question. I can probably get you the answer. Ask me a normal question. I'm gonna look at you a little sideways. I do not know. We will await Jungmin's answer as we go forward.
him go over to the victim?
I do not recall. No.
You don't recall if you saw it, or you don't believe you did?
I don't believe I did.
So what, just to go circle back around to your written statement,
Oh no, now I'm
you
triggered.
were contacted
I've watched look, I am a political junkie, nerd, weirdo, but that's look, I have a tick from Jen Psaki with the circle back thing. So, sir, we are never allowed to use that phrase for another 10 years because she used it all up.
by law enforcement that night, right? Because you had
Yes.
also called 911.
Yes.
And do you still have that copy in front of you?
Yes.
What's the time there?
Timestamp for my statement is 12:40 a.m. on the 20th.
Okay. So it's late at night, early in the morning.
Mhm.
About 2 hours or so after the shooting occurred. And you're just trying to do your best to tell the police what you saw, right?
Yeah.
I have nothing further, thank you.
Redirect.
Nate, you said the police showed up rather quickly.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yes.
and
Oh my
you
goodness, I
said
do
you
that to my
also
kids
called
now.
911.
Whenever they're
Yes.
like, "Mhm," I'm like, "Is that a yes?" Oh, why? No feet. Feet never.
Do you know who the person you saw on the phone was on the phone with?
They had made it sound during our conversation that they were receiving multiple calls or regarding the situation. So they hung up with me and took the second call, I believe, or we're already on the call with them. I don't know.
And you said you have a light outside.
I don't
Yes.
know.
Do you remember if it was already on or if you turned it on?
It was turned on during the altercation.
Was that to hope to see better?
I believe so. My wife was the one who turned it on. Yes. I think her intention was that.
Your wife was like me. If I hear yelling, I know y'all have seen the meme of the guy vacuuming his yard. He's like when the neighbors are arguing. Look, y'all, I don't want to be in the middle of drama, but I will for sure watch yours from the sideway or from the sidelines with popcorn, okay? I'm just throwing that one out there. I will for sure be there. Like my friends look, I only go to HOA meetings now that I know are going to be S shows. I'm just saying. And I take popcorn and my tumbler might not be free of the old adult beverage.
Actually kind of break things up.
When you say break things up, the struggle that you saw were the people close to each other,
Yes,
touching.
I would say so. Yeah.
They were slow dancing, but there was a babble in between.
And again, after they were sort of grouped together, touching, under a minute later is when you heard the shot.
Yes.
And if the information in your statement is different than what you remember,
I know, that's why I loved Sister Wives. I did, like, the first few seasons, I was there because all of their drama was like, "Sir, you done married a bunch of hormonal women, and you seem stupid, so this is gonna be fun." My husband's like, "Why would you watch that?" I'm like, "Oh, no, sir, you don't understand. I don't have to go to therapy, but they can, and I can pretend I know the buzzwords." Oh my gosh. What a train wreck that turned into. Oh lord. That man is such a and he disrespected my 2 favorites, Janelle and Christine. Those 2 were my best favorite, most awesome people. Just saying. And he done disrespected them for Robin. Oof.
today, why do
I
you think
hope he
that would
goes
be the
bald,
case
allegedly,
Poor choice of
quickly.
words.
back then?
Yeah.
Okay. Would some of that be because of your memory?
No, I just believe that at the moment I was using incorrect language to describe what I actually may have seen.
Again, for the umpteenth time, sir, if you can use, I was using incorrect language, sir, you know that you do not wear a t-shirt with aviator sunglasses hooked to your neck. I cannot. I'm done.
And possibly who you heard something from?
Yes, as there was no way that I could determine who said what.
I always pictured you as a man, but I'm not going to assume.
So as you sit here today, you just remember the group of people being so close they were touching.
Correct.
I have nothing further.
Oh, I know.
Saji, anything further?
Just
Glow
briefly,
up forever.
This group of people who you saw,
Well, it happens. Look, you done knew that there was some drama going on if you saw a woman out vacuuming her driveway,
could you
or
see their
the
mouths?
meds have either started
No.
working or stopped.
So although you heard things, you couldn't say who it was coming from.
No, I could not see who they were coming from.
Could you see what their hands were doing?
I do not recall what their hands were doing now.
Nothing.
She was not my favorite.
You may step down. Is Mr. Burko excused?
No.
Yes.
Welcome to Sister Wives Chat. But seriously, Janelle was cool because she was always just like, level and not super duper emotional because good Lord, do these women cry, or a couple of them. And then Christine was just a smartass, and who doesn't love their own mouthy smartass? I mean, she needs to dye her hair red just to warn people, but we'll get away for that.
Yes. You are released, sir. Thank you. You may call your next witness.
Called Mariah Bricko.
Well, Well, that's like Old Line Red we thought was, possibly male and turns out to be a female. So, look, y'all, the only person I am quite sure of is Indigo because she's hot, and I've seen her pictures. Everyone else is sus until we send, pictures to David's rating system. Sir, well, at least she tried-ish. She did that's his wife.
Please raise your right hand and state your name for the record.
Mariah Bricko.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you will provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
do.
I love redheaded older ladies flannel shirt dress.
Can you please spell your name for the record today?
It's Mari.
Yes, there are. It is what it is. I'm just saying Now, I will say the older couples dress up, and I attempt to dress nicely-ish. But yeah. Look, we've just gotten into comfy. We had 2 years where we didn't have to wear pants and we could Zoom everything.
HYA.
And your last name?
BRICCO.
Thank you. Mariah, where do you live?
409 Van Street, Wapaka, Wisconsin, 54981.
And are you married?
Yes.
And who's your husband?
Nathaniel Bricko.
Does he go by Nate?
Nate, yes.
Yeah, you know what? Wear
gonna
what you
show
want.
you
Come in as you
the
are.
marked
Maybe not booty shorts.
exhibit
Just
23.
a thought.
Do you see your
I
house in
mean,
this
we'll still
photograph?
love you,
Yes.
but
And it's that brown house.
Yes.
You live with your husband?
Yes.
And it's the same house you see in exhibit 24?
Yes.
y'all, I want their Kinko's budget. I don't even know how much.
Mariah, were
The
you
courthouse
home on the night
spends on
of October
Kinko's.
19th of 2020?
Yes.
And how do you remember that you were home?
I was sleeping. I'm home every night.
Okay. Was there something
Was out with my
that happened that
boyfriend?
wasn't like every other night?
I heard yelling, which was making me not able to sleep.
And do you remember what you heard was being yelled?
No.
What did you do after you heard yelling?
I got out of my bed and I looked out my front bedroom, my bedroom window, which faces the street.
And what did you see?
I saw 3 figures in the road.
Were you able to determine if they were male, female?
No, just human.
At some point, were you able to determine whether they were male or female?
No.
Later after that incident, did you speak with the police?
Yes.
And did the police give you anything to fill out?
Yes.
And what did they give you to fill out?
A witness statement.
And did you fill out a witness statement?
Yes.
And was that you who wrote the information in that statement?
Yes.
Mariah, I'm going to hand you what's been marked Exhibit 76. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is that?
My witness statement.
That's the one you filled out the night of that incident?
Yes.
And when you filled that out, did you fill it out to the best of your ability?
Yes.
And how long is that statement?
1.5 pages.
And did you sign both pages?
Yes.
And somebody else signed that statement as well.
Yes.
Who did that?
Nate Bricko.
And
Your husband. You could have
the
said your
incident was
husband, but
October of 2020. That was probably hard to remember that long ago.
Yes.
And when you wrote out this statement, did you write it out when all that information was still fresh in your mind?
Yes.
Do you think it
Is
would
she gonna
help
cry?
refresh your recollection about that night if you were able to take some time and review that statement?
Your Honor, I object to this point. There's been no testimony that she couldn't remember.
The question was if it would help her. I'm going to allow her.
you go, Cookie Monster. You put that prosecutor in his place and don't lose your differently abled cat atop your head.
Okay.
Did that help refresh some of your recollection?
Yes.
Because that was a long time ago that happened.
Yes.
Now, since your memory's refreshed, do you recall being able to determine if they were male or female that you saw?
I object, Your Honor.
Clearly stated, there was no ambiguity.
Overrule. If she can answer, she can. She'll tell you yes.
Ooh,
I do not recall.
don't get brazen with me mode.
Do you remember anything that you may have
Engaged.
heard?
Currently, 3 years later, no, but in my witness statement.
And
Okay.
because the witness statement was written when all that information was fresh in your mind,
Yes.
And do you think after reviewing it, it would refresh your recollection?
Mm,
Does anyone want to be in
no, that
court?
was a while ago.
But the information in your statement was
Ma'am, what he's
when
telling
all that
you is if
information
you
was still
cannot
fresh.
Yes.
And you
member, you can read the paper that you wrote when you did member. And he's saying, read the paper you wrote when you did member.
wrote that down the best you could remember,
Yes.
and you signed that statement
Yes.
because you had a chance to read the statement after you wrote it out,
Yes.
and
I
that
blame public
was everything that you
education.
remembered.
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, I would move for the admission of Exhibit 76.
Any objection?
Scott Baio's about to backhand someone if they
Proceed.
objectorate.
And so, Mariah, if I'm reading here in your statement, the third line from the bottom on the first page says you heard one of the men yell clearly, "I am going to shoot you if you don't stop." That's what you had written back then
Yes.
when all that information was still fresh in your mind?
Yes.
And you wrote that you heard that clearly.
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Cross.
Were you able to, did you look out after the shooting ever?
Yes, when we went up to our bedroom.
And at that point, what did you observe?
I observed someone.
And my guess is that the state doesn't feel threatened by this witness or these two witnesses. Otherwise, and it looks like they are pushing their freaking luck with this judge. He is like just this far away from don't get brazen with me mode, which I do want to see an angry cookie monster, but
laying in the road.
Did you see any other people on the road?
At this time, I don't recall.
it's almost like you wrote it down when you membered. Oh my gosh.
But in my witness statement.
Okay. So you don't recall? That's okay.
Yes.
I have nothing further.
Redirect.
I have nothing.
May
I got
step down. Is
nothing.
she released?
Yes.
Yes.
You are released, ma'am. At this time, we need to take a recess, I believe.
Okay, guys, I am going to stop it here. I just wanted to get us to the point where we were very close to getting Bill's testimony because I want everyone, all of my crew and everyone I poach to be together when we watch Bill testify because I have heard that he might be the most normal one of the entire lot, which both tickles me pink and worries me for the rest of humanity. So I will see you guys tonight. I've got to double check my time because listen, y'all, I am trying to get these videos in between getting stuff ready. My oldest son wants fried rice with like steak on the side, chicken on the side, and shrimp on the side, like at our favorite Japanese steakhouse thing. So I'm trying to get that all done. Thank goodness he's waiting for his cake till Friday when his friend's coming over. But yeah, I definitely always assume I have much more time than I do in my head. So I will see you guys at 6:30 tonight and we will have the gang and we will listen to Wild Bill in his own words cuz I am here for it, sir. I want to hear you speak. I'll see you guys later.